Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, men who act like children of all ages, the inside of my vehicle proudly presents to you the greatest podcast that you didn't want or ask for, the MoY Ploy, here on my lunch break with an extremely special edition of the podcast. Folks, the season is done, and it has been an extreme joy to have played fantasy football with each and every single one of you. A moment of sincerity. You guys, life is not easy. Bills are stacking up. $100,000 a year has the purchasing power of $30,000 a year from like 30 years ago. Inflation's out of control. Life is not easy for us common folks. But I am so happy to be able to share this weekly solace with you all of escapism and to be able to chop it up, talk shit, and just have a good time with you people. It really does mean a lot, and I am super happy to be the person to bring that, hopefully, to all of you as well. With that out of the way, fucking suck it, Matt! You choked 2 different ways. Let's talk about them. The first way, all you have to do is win, and you're in. The second way, I shit the bed so hard that all you had to do was put up about like 180, and you then leapfrog me in playoff tiebreakers. But you didn't do that either, Matt. Did ya? Did ya, Matt? Did ya? Looking forward to seeing you on Friday for dinner, sucker. You can serve me up something else tasty to eat, because I'm really enjoying gobbling up this playoff spot I got, son. And also, Brent Tent, there was never a doubt in my mind that you would choke. Because we all know your gag reflex is pretty intense. At least Ray knows that. That's for sure. Anyways, let's talk about the playoff picture, the MoYs and the Woys. Playoff picture, number 1 seed, Brett Tet is going to be playing against myself. The number 2 seed, Ray the Rat Mert Squirts, is going up against Todd the MoY God Harris. This playoff lineup is extremely spicy. A week 1 matchup, single elimination, Rat versus Todd. This is why we play this game, folks. It is for matchups like this, and for all you 4 losers who missed the playoffs, you are in for a special treat, because even though you're not playing for something, you get to watch a true spectacle this week. Of that, I have no doubts. And on the other side, myself versus Brett Tet, I traded him Christian McCaffrey. Will it bite me in the ass, or will it bite him in the ass? Let's find out. Also, I traded Ray, Drake May, and Jackson Dart, and Mike Evans, and somebody else. And I got Chris Olave and Jalen Hurts, who had the worst performance of any quarterback probably in the history of football. 5 turnovers. He had 2 turnovers on 1 play. He threw an interception. The defender fumbles the ball. Jalen Hurts recovers it and then fumbles it to the Los Angeles Chargers. He threw an interception in the same play. During the return of the interception, the defender fumbles it to him. He gets it, and then he proceeds to fumble it yet again. I am so scared to start him this week. Oh my God. So that is that. In the losers bracket, I'm not going to lie, I haven't really considered the matchups there. I'm doing this on my phone, so I don't have the multi-screens like I usually do. So I'm just kind of winging this one. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's... Actually, Peter kind of won out on the back end of the season. Peter might not be in last place. Huh. Interesting. I'm pretty sure Eddie is 6-8. And I think Peter might be 6-8 too after that win, which means that Peter would be 6-8. Brent would be 6-8. Matt would be 6-8. And Eddie, is every single non-playoff team 6-8? Is that real? Or is somebody 5-9? Anyways, whatever. Riveting podcast here. So, what we have to talk about. Whoops. Get back up here, baby. The big elephant in the driver's seat. The big elephant in this vehicle right now is the MoY Award. In my humble opinion, there are 3 cases to be made for MoY based on fantasy analytics. And it's going to depend, if you're going to base it on fantasy analytics, which narratives you enjoy. Do you enjoy the Ubermensch narrative of like the unbeatable dude who just builds up this juggernaut of a team throughout the year? Rashee Rice got healthy, and I'm not sure Brett lost another game since Rashee Rice got off of from almost killing multiple people on a highway in Texas. Yes, healthy. When Rashee Rice got off suspension, I'm not sure Brett lost another game. He started bad, and we all wrote him off, but he didn't write back, yo. Because like Geno Smith not writing back, Brett did not write us back and has taken the number 1 seed of the playoffs with an absolutely horrifyingly strong team. That said, there are a few holes in his roster. Jonathan Taylor just lost his starting quarterback, Daniel Jones, to an Achilles injury. That could be bad. He has a couple difficult matchups for some of his other key running backs as well. I don't think Bills running back, Cook, has been super dominant as of late. And I know that Emeka Egbuka has been sucking ass lately. And frankly, most of Brett's receiving core is not awesome. So I think it's going to be as far as MoY goes, looking at his whole body of work to get him to where his spot is, not going to be looking at how his roster is compared to what it was like a week or two ago. I do think it's gotten worse, just with the bad breaks and injuries that he's suffered coming in towards the playoffs here. That said, he's probably still a favorite to win the championship. The next narrative that I don't think that we can ignore is Todd, the current reigning MoY god, Harris. Come on, stay up here. Whatever. You know what? That's fine. In the history of this league, I am not sure that anyone has performed better with fewer points than Todd Harris. I mean, this is like the level of mind fuckery that goes into playing against Todd Harris. It is next level, because you know that if you lose to him, you're going to have to deal with some absolute bullshit. And I'll be real. It fucks with me, and I know it fucks with you because I see y'all lose to him all the time. And we shouldn't be losing to the lowest scoring points team in the league. And yet, here he is, not at 7-7, barely making it into the playoffs, at 8-6. 8-6. That's outrageous. Outrageous. Is that the same record as Ray? I wish I could look it up right now. Anyways, we're one taking this B, so let me hear real quick. Can I do that while I'm recording? I can't. Okay, farts. All right. Anywho, I was trying to turn off notifications so my phone wouldn't go and y'all would pick that up really, really loudly during the podcast. Anywho, hopefully no one texts me. I'm not that popular. The next thing that we are going to talk about, the final narrative for MoY that we're going to talk about. It's not Ray. What up, baby? It's your boy, Jake the Gluten-Free Karras. If you are a fan of overcoming adversity, of putting out a extreme quality team and just getting bad luck after bad luck, but scrapping and fighting and clawing and doing what it takes to get into the playoffs, look no further than this guy's face. Because, holy crap, what a bullshit season. Second in points scored. I don't know if I'm second in points scored after putting up 120 this past week. Second in points scored heading into this week. Losing record. Like, absolute bullshit. Absolute bullshit. And I do this every year. Great team. Second or third in points scored. Unlucky breaks all year long. Then I go and somehow make the playoffs, except for like that 1 year. Somehow make the playoffs, and it's usually making the playoffs because I sold my soul in the final week to two of the other teams, to the highest bidder, in order to get in, because I tried to trade with all the other teams who were going into the losers bracket, but none of them were like, no, let's just give the Rat a super team. I'm not going to make a deal with you because I just feel like I'd rather see, stupid shit like that. So here we are. 3 narratives for MoY and 1 narrative for not MoY. We're going to talk about the Rat briefly, because it hardly bears mentioning. Was this the worst comeback in the history of comebacks? 6-1, massive losing streak, and then barely, Matt just texted, you were so blinded by bias. Yeah, okay, Matt. Whatever. Barely squeaks into the playoffs. And wants to crown himself yet again. No. We all saw what happened. We all actually understand what a comeback is. A comeback is not being up 28-3, choking it away, and then somehow still squeaking out a win. That's not a comeback. Anyways, I'm tired of talking about the Rat, so we're going to move on. We need to talk about the MoYs. There are some real strong cases for MoY. I think there's, unlike most years, there are 4 extremely strong cases for MoY. Every team that missed the playoffs. Peter Cheater, Pigu, Hot Sizzle O'Donnell. Finally tripped over that one. Peter Cheater, Pigu, Hot Sizzle O'Donnell. His, dropped more startable and currently rostered players than anyone else in the league. He dropped Cam Scadaboo, who was incredible and a big reason of why I got any wins in the first 6 weeks, or whenever it is that he got injured. He dropped Kenneth Walker, who's helped me out lately. He's dropped, I know he's picked up and dropped Daniel Jones, who just finally got himself injured. He's dropped other good players. The number of, I'll have to look it up, but the number of great quality starting players that Pigu has dropped, not a small number. Then we got to talk about Eddie. Thank you, Eddie, for dropping Nico Collins. Because holy shit, I probably don't make the playoffs without Nico Collins. What a dumb fucking drop. Probably one of the stupidest drops of all time in the entire history of this league before the MoY Award was ever created. Nico Collins, man. What are you doing? Then we need to talk about Brent Tent, the cuck chair king himself, sitting on his hotel room throne, watching the bed, watching everyone else make the magic happen. The fewest roster moves of any manager. And no one needed it more than you, bro. Your team stank from the start to the end. And you did nothing but watch everyone else make their teams better. What are you doing? It's not like you don't have time on your hands. We know how much you're yanking it. Like, take that time to peruse the waivers on a Tuesday. Like, you could give yourself blisters on your ding-dong on a Tuesday night, or you could peruse the waivers. Blisters it is, I guess, Brent. Enjoy your MoY award. And then another strong narrative, and the final one that we are going to talk about, Matt, Toby, HR, Southside. Brother. At one point in this league, you were like 6 points away from being the highest scoring team in the league, sitting in second place. And I don't think you got a win since then. Brother. Pretty sure you were 6-4 at that point. Brother. One win and you were in. Brother. It's just not enough to watch injuries shake up the value of your players and then to sit idly by and do nothing. You got to get out there. You got to be proactive. But instead of being proactive, what did we get? We got like no moves coming down the last couple of weeks to get your win and get in. And we got the vow of silence. What was that all about? And like you're big, like, oh, I'm got a real walloper for when I get back. I was in Cabo. Like, bro, no, you weren't. Your wife shares her location with my wife. Who you think you're fooling? What are we doing here, bro? What are we doing here? Anyways, 4 strong cases for MoY. Choose your flavor. 3 strong cases for MoY. Choose your flavor. And 1 case for the Cuck Chair Award, if you want to vote for the rat, I guess, which we all know Brent is going to. That's all I got. Folks, have yourself a blessed Tuesday, and I will see you all in the next one.